عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي اللهم آمين. Now, so this is the second part of Huruf al-Jar. I've just recorded the first part, so this is the second part. I'm continuing, inshallah. So now let's take a look at what the second part has to say. We're still on Huruf al-Jar. We've looked at two different Huruf al-Jar, which is fi and ala, and they mean in and on. So today, inshallah, so now we're looking at two different huruf al-jar, which is now min and ila. Min means from, and ila means to or towards something. All right. So, and now, like I told you in the previous lesson, or in the part one of huruf al-jar, I told you that these prepositions have different meanings, that they stand to have many meanings, not just one. So for example, when I say min can mean from, it can also mean part of something. All right. And it can also mean the start from something. That is min. That's one of the meanings of min. And also ila means towards, or towards something. Towards also mean, ila can mean towards or to, and it can also mean till the end. All right, to the end of something. That is one of the other meanings of ila. So let's take a look at this. Al baytu min al bayti, the house from the house. So we can see that, like I told you, one of the function of huruf al-jar is putting a kasra at the last letter of the word that it is preceded, or it precedes. For example, min al-bayti. So the ta here has a kasra. That is because of the huruf al-jar. Initially, it had a dhamma, but when the huruf al-jar, which is min, comes before it, it has to have a kasra. That's one of the rules of declension. And we have al-masjidu. Al-masjidu, the dal there has a dhamma, but when it has been preceded by a preposition which is a huruf al-jar or harf al-jar, it has to have a kasra at the last letter. So we have min al-bayti, from the house, ila al-masjidi, to the masjid. All right. So we have al-mudarris. Now there's a conversation between mudarris and Muhammad. Now we're going on into conversations. So this way you know how to speak in Arabic language, asking simple questions. For example, we're going to learn about how to ask where a person is from. For example, you have here min aina anta, where are you from? Okay, so this is how you ask it in Arabic language. If you want to ask where a person is from, you say min aina ant, where are you from? And Muhammad replies, says ana min al yaban, I am from Japan. Al yaban in the Arabic language is Japan. Ana min al yaban. Now take note, in the last lesson we talked about pronouns, masculine pronouns and feminine pronouns, and actually those pronouns were for the third person. When I mean the third person, I'm saying someone who is not in the presence, like in your presence. For example, if you and somebody is having a conversation and you're saying he, she did that, he did that, then that is huwa and hiya, right? So now what if you're talking to somebody right now? You're talking to somebody and the person is facing you, you're talking to the person directly. So how do you say you? And now you in Arabic language is anta. You in Arabic is anta, and I in Arabic is ana. So when you want to say I you say ana, and when you want to say you say anta. So when it says min aina anta, where are you from? Ana min al Yaban, I am from Japan. Okay, like the min here is going to have an effect on the name after it by giving it a kasra. Ana min al Yaban, I am from Japan. Now all of these pronouns have their names. Okay, we have so for example, ana and anta are known as al-mukhatabat. They are the people you're talking to. All right. Khataba is to have a conversation with somebody. When you say al-mukhatab, which means somebody you're having a conversation with. All right. Somebody you're having a conversation with. So ana min al-yaban. So that is one of the al-mukhatabat. So ana and anta, one of the mukhatabat. So you have al-mudarris now is asking, wa min aina ammar? And where is Ammar? Where is Ammar? As in, where is he from? Ammar, where is he from? I mean, Aina Ammar, where is Ammar from? So, wait, this is how to ask where somebody else is from. Okay. I mean, Aina Ammar. And where is Ammar from? Muhammad replies, says, Huwa min as-Sin. He is from China. Sin in Arabic language is China. And and these differences in the names of countries and places is not just all in Arabic language, it's also in other languages like French, because the normal way you say it in English is different from the way you say it in French. It's also different from the way you say it in Arabic. All right, some of them are having a close similarities, but there's always some kind of difference due to the difference in letters and difference in pronunciations and so on and so forth. So if huwa min al-Sin, he's from China. Now Mudarris now says, wa min aina Hamid? Where is Hamid from? Muhammad replies, huwa min al-Hind. He is from India. So Hind in Arabic language is India. Al-Mudarris asks, Aina Abbas? Where is Abbas? Muhammad replies, Kharaja. He's gone out. That's mean of kharaja. He's gone out. All right. When you want to say somebody went out, you say kharaja. He's gone out. And al-mudarris asks. Now, this is the first verb we're meeting in this book. All right. This is the first verb we're coming across. In the previous chapters, we didn't come across any verb, so this is the first verb, and it is the most basic verb in Arabic language. Actually, in Arabic language, there are a lot of verbs, and they're all different. They're all divided or separated into different sects. Like they all have the different sects we have, and that is based on the number of letters that they have. For example, we have 3-lettered verbs, we have 4-lettered verbs, 5 and 6-lettered verbs. So you can see this is a 3-lettered verb because it has 3 letters, just kha, ra, and jim. And under the 3-lettered verbs, there are also differences, and the differences can come in the way the letters are being arranged, and in the way the haraka are being placed. Okay, so just in 3-lettered verbs, there's a lot of work to do, and not to talk of the 4-lettered and 5 or 6-lettered verbs. So, but in this lessons, you'll be coming across just 3-lettered verbs. For now, you'll be seeing them one by one, little by little, and I'll just be chipping 1 or 2 things about them. For example, kharaja is a 3-lettered verbs, and it also has a scale. Now, that's one thing I didn't mention. Verbs in Arabic languages have scale. So they have like an instrument they use in measuring the verbs, like they use in indicating how verbs would show. And when Arabs decided to come up with the scale, they chose 3 different letters for the scale, and so which means whichever verb is going to come in any form, it has to come in the scale. So we can use the scale to check out the forms that the verbs can come in. For example, the scale is fa'ala. That is the basic skill, the most basic skill for all verbs in Arabic language is fa'ala. So kharaja, for example, is under the scale fa'ala. And why is that? And that's because of the letters. One, the letters, and two, the vowels also. Because fa'ala has 3 fathas on each of the letters, and kharaja also has 3 fathas on each of the letters. Okay, so that's why it's under the scale fa'ala. All right, so that's why we have it as kharaja. Okay, so it's part of the fa'ala verbs. Let's put it that way. It's part of the fa'ala verbs. So we have al-mudarris. Al-mudarris goes on and says, Aina zahaba. Now take note. Muhammad says, he's gone out. And mudarris now says, where did he go to? Aina zahaba. Where's he gone? Aina zahaba. Because zahaba is a past tense. And also kharaja. Okay. Kharaja is a past tense. Zahaba is also a past tense. So when you say Aina zahaba, where's he gone? Where did he go to? So Muhammad says, Zahaba ila al-mudir. He's gone to meet the mudir. He's gone to the mudir, the proprietor. Zahaba, he's gone to meet the mudir, or he's gone to the mudir. Wa aina zahaba Ali, and where did Ali go to? Zahaba ila al-mirhat. Ali went to the toilet. So this is the mirhat. You can see it's the toilet, mirhat. So now, one more thing I'd like to mention is that if you notice when you're using the verbs, you have it. So these verbs are for masculines. Yes, that's what I want to mention. These verbs are for masculines. So when you're referring to a female, the verb will go through a little bit of change, not that much, just a little change. So, for example, if you want to talk about a female doing something, in which we're going to come across in coming lessons too in this same book, you just have to put the ta in front of the zahaba. For example, if I ask a question like Aina Aminatu, where is Amina? You can say Zahabat. Okay, and that ta is going to have a sukun. Zahabat ila al-mirhat. She has gone to the toilet. So let's take a look at the test questions. We have Tamarin. So Ajib anil asilatil atiya. You're being asked to answer all of these questions. Now, one thing I forgot to mention in the previous record of part 1, I was saying something about pronouns, and I was telling you about mukhataba and mukhatab. I was telling you about the pronouns meant for those you're conversing with. I didn't tell you what pronouns for those who you're not conversing with were. Okay, so those are the gaibats, those are the absentees. Okay, so and pronoun in Arabic language is damir. I don't know if I mentioned that in the part 1. So but damir are pronouns. So and the plural of damir is dama'ir, which is pronouns with an s, but the singular is damir, just pronoun, and you have dama'ir, pronouns. Okay, so we have damir al-mukhataba, which is pronouns meant for those who you're conversing with, and damir al-ga'ib for those who are not there, like he and she. So let's take a look at these test questions again. Back here, Ajib anil asilat al-atiya. You're being told to answer these questions. Mean aina answers. So just think from your own ideas, from your own answers. Put in anything you want in this empty spaces. Min aina anta, where are you from? For example, I'm from Nigeria. I'll say ana min Nigeria, I'm from Nigeria. أنت من فلبين? Well, I'm definitely not from Philippines, so you answer that yourself. So من من الصين. Now take a look at this. A very good way to ask a question. من من الصين? Who's from China? That is this question here. من من الصين? Who's from China? من من Nigeria? Who's from Nigeria? من من America? Who's from America? Okay, we have من أين حامد? Where is Hamid from? أين ذهب عباس? Where did Abbas go to? ذهب علي إلى المدير? Did Ali go to the proprietor? So we have here also اقرأ واكتب مع الضبط أواخر الكلمات. You're also told to read, write, and take note of the last vowels of the last letters. Again, we have الغرفة, the room. من الغرفة, from the room, because it's having a حرف الجر, it has to have a kasra at the last letter, and so on and so forth for the rest. So you have اقرأ واكتب. Again, you're being told to read and write. من أين فاطمة? Where's Fatima from? هي من الهند, she's from India. خرج المدرس من الفصل وذهب إلى المدير. The mudir came out from the class and went to the proprietor. I mean the teacher now, because this is مدرس. The teacher came out from the class. من الفصل. الفصل means a class. الفصل can also mean a section or a part of something. Okay. And وذهب إلى المدير, and he went to the proprietor. ذهب التاجر إلى الدكان. The merchant went to the shop. تاجر means a merchant. تجارة means business. So خرج حامد من الغرفة وذهب إلى الحمام. Hamid came up from the room and went to the bathroom. So you can read the rest yourself, I'm sure of that. You might just be having a problem with the new words like السوق. السوق means a market. So, and also what else? We have خديجة من الصين وخالد من اليابان. Khadija is from China and Khalid is from Japan. So now you're being told to put in this test question 4, you're being told to put in the right prepositions, the right huruf al-jar in the empty spaces. So al-kitabu, and you have al-kitab and you have al-maktab for the first question. So what preposition do you think best suits this empty space? For me, I'll go for ala. Al-kitabu ala al-maktabi. The book is on the desk. The book can only be on the desk, right? So al-talib fil fasl, the student is in the class. Okay, so I guess you can do the rest yourself. It's going to be very easy, inshallah. So we have new words: al-madrasa, school; al-faslu, classroom; al-hammam, that's bathroom. I mean, that's this is bathroom, yeah. And al-mirhat is toilet. Al-matbakh is kitchen. Al-ghurfatu is room or bedroom. Al-jami'a, no, let's just say room. It's just room. Al-jami'a is university. Al-suq is market. Al-yaban is Japan. Al-Sin is China. Al-Hind is India. Al-Philippine is Philippine. Al-Mudir is proprietor. Zahaba, he went, and kharaja, he came out. So, and in the end of huruf al-jar, we have fi, ala, min, ila. So these are just the basics, the basic jar letters. There are other jar letters, but for your level and for the basics, these are just the basic jar letters. So I'll stop the lesson here, inshallah. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.